Zico arrived as a substitute for Socrates in time to help increase the score. A goal of his own was on the cards until he was brought down by the despairing Młynaczyk. Karejka converted the penalty. Poland were on their way home. Mexico welcomed back Hugo Sanchez, free from suspension, to lift them into the quarter-finals. Bulgaria made no secret of their intentions. At the kick-off, they belted the ball downfield, while each player ran to his predetermined tactical position. Mexico's midfield general, Manuel Negrete, knew just what to do. He used the wide-open spaces of midfield to turn the Bulgarian defence inside out. On top of that, he opened the scoring with a spectacular display of acrobatics. Negrete created the second Mexican goal with this corner, headed home by Raul Servin. Everyone was delighted to see the Mexicans reach the quarter-finals. Equally welcome was the sight of the negative Bulgarians going home. The nations of Argentina and Uruguay sit on opposite banks of the River Plate. They share only their language and a passion for football. Argentina v Uruguay is a South American England against Scotland. No quarter asked, none given. In this case, it was Diego Maradona who showed no mercy. He unleashed all his brilliant gifts. Uruguay had been warned by FIFA to be on their best behaviour. They were, so Maradona duly took them apart. Paraguay had never been this far in the World Cup before. The excitement was clearly too much for them. They harassed Syrian referee Al Sharif throughout the match and were fortunate he didn't reach for the red card. If Paraguay had concentrated more on their football, they might have run England closer. Paraguay had their chances, but once England had gone in front, they never looked like losing. In the second half, with Gary Lineker momentarily off injured, England scored again. Goalkeeper Fernandez couldn't hold the first shot from Terry Butcher. Peter Beardsley was waiting to pounce. Glenn Hoddle, the Tottenham favourite, had played only once in the 1982 World Cup. Now, after years of debate about his role with England, he wanted to make up for lost time. Hoddle's through pass wrong-footed the entire Paraguayan defence, and Lineker's second goal provided England with an unassailable 3-0 lead. Italy's reign as World Cup holders was almost over. History had been on their side. In 27 previous meetings, they'd lost to France on only 4 occasions. But this Italian team looked tired. France had more flair and style, and they had Michel Platini. Italy was so worried about Platini, they tended to forget the other French stars. Tigana and Fernandez, for example, were superb. Fernandez it was who set off the move, which ended with Platini clipping France ahead after 14 minutes. France held that lead until half-time and duly extended it 11 minutes after the interval. Tigana was the creator this time, and Yannick Stopira the scorer of a second goal, which ended Italy's 4-year reign on top of the world. No African team had ever reached the quarter-finals of the World Cup. Could Morocco go even further, or would the West German machine swallow them up? In fact, Morocco had taken the match to within 85 seconds of extra time when West Germany were awarded a free kick. The tired Moroccans, their concentration wavering, failed to organise their wall properly. Lothar Matthäus shot through the gap, and the Moroccan adventure was over. Querétaro, an old Spanish colonial town, provided just the setting for Spain to turn the football clock back to their great days. Denmark took an early lead through a Jesper Olsen penalty. Spain were angry, and almost half of their team were inside the penalty area before Olsen had even struck his kick. Unhappily for Olsen, he then made an awful mess of a back pass at his own end of the pitch to allow Spain back into the match. of the day was Emilio Butragueño. When he was a teenager, the coaches at Real Madrid had told him to forget about football and concentrate on other sport. He didn't. They had second thoughts, and Denmark paid a 4-goal penalty. Butragueño scored 4 of Spain's 5 goals. The one which got away was a penalty converted by Goicoechea. Inevitably, Butragueño had been the player brought down. Denmark's dynamite had exploded in their own faces, but at least, unlike a number of other teams in this World Cup, no one could accuse them of being boring, in victory or defeat. Two minutes remained when Butragueño was fouled in the penalty area again by Morten Olsen. This time, Butragueño insisted on taking the spot kick. He was enjoying one of those days when he just couldn't miss. Spain's Emilio Butragueño became the first player to score 4 goals in a match in the finals since Eusebio 20 years earlier. The demise of Denmark, one of the shocks of the second round. And the world champions Italy also went out, beaten by France, the European champions. It was tough on Igor Belanov of the Soviet Union, a loser despite his hat-trick against Belgium. 2 more goals for Gary Lineker, lifting England over the hurdle of Paraguay. Brazil was still the popular choice to win the World Cup. But by brushing aside Poland, they now came up against European opposition who could match the traditional flair of the great South Americans. France, who'd invented the World Cup through Jules Rimet, were striving to win it for the first time. France against Brazil was just one of 4 mouth-watering quarter-finals. West Germany to meet Mexico in the heat and humidity of Monterrey. Argentina, with Maradona as captain and craftsman, a formidable obstacle for England. Belgium and Spain both improving significantly as the tournament developed. This was a match which would have graced the final, the sophisticated French champions of the old world against the greatest soccer nation in the new world. It was Brazil who seized an early lead, Careca's 5th goal of the finals, awakening the interest of several Italian clubs, including Diego Maradona's Napoli. France equalised 5 minutes before half-time. Giresse sent Rocheteau away on the right. Edinho deflected the cross. Goalkeeper Carlos and Stopira missed the ball, and Platini tapped it in at the far post. "1-1 at half-time, 1-1 at 90 minutes, 1-1 after extra time. That, of course, meant penalties.